In this video, I'm going to take a pop chord progression and show you a variety of different ways you can get bass lines from it. Hi, Dan here from onlinebasscourses.com, and if you want more weekly bass lessons, then make sure you subscribe by clicking the button below. So the chord progression is 4 bars, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of G, 2 bars of A minor. The chord progression is in the key of A minor, which will become important later on. And I'm just going to show you a few different ways that you could approach making a bass line up. So first up, we're just going to use root notes. So I'm going to click play and play a very simple bass line and show you what I'm doing. So what I'm doing there is very, very simple. I'm just playing the root note of every chord there. And I'm just doing eighth notes, sticking with the drum beat. By the way, that's drums played by my very good friend John Howells, who does a lot of remote recording. And I'll put a link to where you can download that drum beat to practice over. But it's 108 BPM if you just want to play with a metronome. What I'm doing is I'm just really trying to sit in the pocket with that and play the notes evenly and in time. And with eighth notes, that's not always as easy as you think it is. So just make sure that you can actually do that. The next thing that we would do, just to show you actually, I was just playing F, G, A, first fret, third fret, fifth fret. 1 bar of F on the first fret, 1 bar of G on the third fret, and then 2 bars of A on the fifth fret. And now next what we'll do here is we'll just add a fifth in. A fifth is just any one of those notes. You just go 2 frets across and 1 string down and you have a fifth. I'm just going to add some fifths in now. So I wasn't really planning exactly why I was going to play the fifth, just wherever I felt that it sounded good there. And even just the addition of that one note just adds a little bit more interest to it. I was just there making this up as I'm going along, but also just trying to feel it. It may be that that's too much, but you'll only know that in the context of other instruments, other band members, etc. So for this video, I'm just going to probably overplay a little bit, but just to illustrate the point. Next thing we're going to do is exactly the same, but just add an octave. So if you just go one string further down towards the floor, you'll get the octave. So from the root note, it's 2 across and 2 strings down. And I'll do the same thing, but it doesn't matter really which note you play first. You can play the fifth to an octave to a root note. So I'll see what I'll do. I might vary it as I go. Did you notice one thing I did there as well was I was varying the rhythms. So instead of keeping the eighth notes even, I was keeping some short. Keeping the first really short and the second long. You can do the opposite. And I was also varying the rhythms when I got to the octave and the fifth. So we're using eighth notes, but you can use sixteenths as well. So at this speed, digga 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 digga. And to get those, if I'm going from a higher string to a lower, say from D, A, E, it's okay to rake your finger down just to get that. And that's really to do with your left hand or your fretting hand timing that really well. So that's kind of fifths and octaves. And then the next thing you would do, just to add a bit more in, there's a few things you can do, but we're in the key of A minor, so A natural minor. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. And I'm playing that starting on the 5th fret of the E string, first finger, lining up the fingers, 1 finger per fret, and going 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. Now, all of these 3 chords belong to that key. So any A minor note in other words, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A will work if you want to use those notes to kind of connect the chords, connect the notes up. Any of those notes will work. That's one way to think of it. Another is that over the F you can play a Lydian mode, over the G you can play a Mixolydian mode, and over the A you can play an Aeolian mode. Now don't worry if you don't understand what that means and modes. I'll put a link to a couple of other videos I've got that explains it a bit further, but I'll just quickly show you an F Lydian. F Lydian just contains all the notes from A minor starting on F. So we got F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Looks very much like the major scale except with a sharpened fourth. And then a G Mixolydian looks very much like a major scale but with a flattened seventh. Finger number wise, that would be 2-4, 1-2-4, 1-2-4. And then that A natural minor. Let's hear how that sounds. Now, using those notes in that way, we start to get bass lines that sound a lot more melodic. And it really doesn't matter if you're thinking that all of those notes I just played were either in the key of A natural minor, or you're thinking that's a Lydian, that's a Mixolydian. There's it's two ways to get to the same point, really. I would always suggest to learn as many things as you can. So, for example, incorporating modes into your practice so you understand what that means. But if you just think that I've got A natural minor, it's all these notes, those are all the notes that work. Now, one final thing I'll do is just use a few of those ideas, and then because we're in the key of A natural minor, we can use the A minor pentatonic scale for fills or for connecting up the chords. So I'll do that now. So just a few ideas for you there about how you might approach a pop bass line, rhythmically, harmonically and melodically. Just 3 ideas there that you can think about in your playing, and you can transfer this to other styles of music, of course you can. So if you want more bass lessons a bit like this one, then make sure you subscribe by clicking the button below. See you on the next video.